Good evening, our esteemed viewers of SMART24 TV. My name is Dr. Joseph Tindeba, back with the point, and I'm together with Mr. Paul Kundo, and he is the coordinator, Uganda chapter for the East African Youth Network, and together again with Jack Tusime, Mr. Jack Tusime, the regional coordinator of East Africa Youth Network. It's a pleasure to have you, our dear guests. Please, our viewers are waiting to hear from you. You can extend your greetings.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for hosting us. Good evening, our viewers out there. We are very happy to be in the studios of SMART24 TV, a leader in business, and has at least revolutionized business, at least in Uganda. That one we have to give it to them. That's good. My name is Jack Tusime. I'm the regional coordinator for the East Africa Youth Network. The East Africa Youth Network is an umbrella body for youth organizations in the East African region, that is the 7 partner states. Okay. If someone out there who would want to know what East Africa is, the East African Community is an intergovernmental body for the 7 partner states. Now with the recent DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, joining Rwanda, Kenya, Uganda, the Republic of Tanzania, Burundi, the Republic of South Sudan, and the Republic of Kenya. The headquarters are in Arusha, and it came into existence in 2000 after the collapse of 1977. The East African Community is built on 4 pillars. We have the common market, which we are going to talk about today in the export of goods and services. We have the customs union, we have the monetary union, and finally the political federation that we are pushing to ensure that we are all under one political body.
Yeah, you said you are East Africans.
Yes,
so dear East Africans, you are welcome. If you have come with one from Tanzania, and another time I want
tomorrow, actually they told us that tomorrow we are supposed to bring a different one. So all are here. Many of them are here, and we are here at the East African Youth Innovation Forum.
Wow, there's a forum ongoing.
Yes, it's
ongoing. Why didn't you invite me? I'm also East African.
I don't know, but you're good innovator.
And I'm by the youth.
Yes, young at heart and very youthful. I think we are. It's still ongoing.
Yes.
So after here, we can go together.
Fine. Let's receive him. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Doctor. You know me, I'm a believer, and when the Pope has given the word, sometimes we the reverends normally don't speak much.
You can greet the viewers.
Yes, so
tell us what inspired you to be here.
So my name is Paul Kundo, and I represent the national chapter for Uganda, which is the East African Youth Network. So like the way the regional coordinator has said, I coordinate the activities of the chapter in the country. And the main agenda is to make sure that we bring all the young people together to push the agenda of integrating our partner states, so that we can be a one single state with one agenda, with one mission of making sure that we push our economies forward. Yeah, so I'm glad to be part of this show, and I'm looking forward to discuss more with the viewers. Thank you.
Okay, we continue the discussion. One state seat that, as per the UBOS 2015, 72% of working population are engaged in agriculture. And there was a study called by Gabriel Karubanga, Paulo Kibuli of 2017, and he refers the need to empower farmers to learn and innovate through integration. And we are here in the voice of integration as per the region, but also integrating in our economic sectors. Looking at that, we are able to recognize that agricultural extension is perceived as the primary mechanism through which farmers expand their ability to adopt and adapt new technologies and ideas. The call for farmers' innovation, awareness, creation, knowledge acquisition, retention, knowledge use, knowledge and experience sharing is important. Mr. Jack Seaman, the regional coordinator of the youth network in the 7 states of East Africa. You being an engineer, a chemical engineer, and also holding a master in environment and natural resource management, we recognize land as a key factor of production, especially for agricultural productivity. And the productivity of agriculture in East Africa remains minimal compared to the call for export trade, of where the challenge East Africa continues to face is much more of importance. I would like to bring you back to the viewers to give us hope on the best approaches that Uganda and East Africa generally needs to adopt, and not at a slow pace, at a terrific speed, because we are a bit, ambitious. Say no, Uganda should be the food basket of Africa, and not only that, but the continent and the global community to be able to export. Please, you're welcome. Do give us your inspiration on how we can move forward with commercial agriculture.
Thank you so much, Doctor. I
Yes,
must
please.
appreciate that you have given a good preamble about the East African community and the opportunities. One thing I must appreciate is that this topic is at the heart of every East African, because the only thing that we have as a comparative advantage in the continent is agriculture. When you look at our land, when you look at our climate, we can be the food basket of the whole world, because we can, if you look at other countries like Israel, Egypt, and they are doing a lot in farming, I believe that if we put whatever we are talking on in practice, we can achieve that. And I want to talk about opportunities. The region brings, first of all, like what I said about our land, and at the moment, you will appreciate that we have been, we are in a transition of from subsistence farming to commercial agriculture. Now, the commercial agriculture that we started, if you look at our cash crops, because now here we are looking at how can we make sure that our economies also compete like Brazil. If you bring in your coffee, you bring your cotton, we have now tea and cashew nuts in Tanzania. So originally the EAC has been producing on a subsistence level. But the good news is that all partner states now, the 7 partner states, are shifting from the subsistence to commercial agriculture. And now, after commercial agriculture, we have gone ahead to add value. That's why we are talking about the innovation. We are saying that if we are going to compete very well, this shift, the Vision 2050 for the EAC, is talking about using agriculture and innovation to accelerate the growth and change the lives of our people. I'll give you an example of the factories in terms of coffee, and we have seen mushrooming innovations, mostly startups for young people who are adding value to coffee. They are getting our coffee and they are adding value rather than taking the raw materials to the outside world. We are trying. I believe we still have some challenges, but I'm now being optimistic where we are going. And you also look at tea. We have now factories that are adding value to tea, and they are focusing on making sure that at least we have we add value to ensure that we broaden our market. And when you look at the EAC's common market protocol, it focuses on I think 5 pillars when you are looking at an opportunity. We have the free movement of goods, to have a bigger market, because at the end of the day, when we have talked about, we have left subsistence, we have gone to commercial, now we are adding value, but the challenge we have is that we don't have the market, you get, and that is what the East African community is bringing. It is giving the citizens what we call the 5 the 5 opportunities. That is the movement of goods, and the movement of services, the movement of labor, and now we have also removed the visa fees and we have these one border posts that are making sure that we have the intra-trade, because I believe if we trade together and we have we use this comparative advantage, it becomes easier for us to grow our economies and invest well in agriculture and ensure that at least we achieve our objective.
I appreciate you and what you've given us in your background of sharing the information. Indeed, it is much more of the institutional framework of where we intend to operate within. But I will to take us with keen interest to know the practicability of what we are talking about, the transition, the shift from commercial agriculture to, from subsistence agriculture to commercial agriculture, and what we are calling also innovation, agriculture, commercial agriculture, and innovation. Looking at that, there are some of the existing challenges. I associate you with the organization which you are working, which you are reading, that the East African Youth Network. This seems to be a huge vision. We are talking of the East African, the youth who composes the majority in terms of percentage of our population. Around, you will tell us the percentage of the youth you are representing. I should not be the one to give the statistics. But knowing the reality, we know the challenges that are facing the youth. The productivity of the youth in agriculture sector, it is believed is still minimal. The unemployed youth who are supposed to be in the agricultural sector, the call is huge. Most of them, they have gone to Abu Dhabi to look for the Eastern world, to look for jobs. Others, what they rush to do, they go to buy motorcycles. That's in terms of economic productivity, that is a serious big question which is not yet solved. And also, the movement of the goods you're talking about is still either whether it's a work in progress, but is of challenge. To easily cross to Kenya, to Tanzania, with the current framework is still questionable. Now that's back to the framework. Then finally, I will be giving it back to you, then he will come in. There's a challenge of land acquisition. The youth initially, which you are representing, sir, they tend to say, you are telling us to go for agriculture, you are telling us to go for commercial agriculture, but where are we going to have the land that we can produce much more, that I can eat on, and again, take to the market? And yet, the legal framework for these nations seems not to be favoring all these developments. What have you interfaced with in this process of facing those challenges?
Thank you so much, Doctor. I agree that what you're talking about is really happening, but like I told you, I'm a very optimistic person, and I'm looking at opportunities that the East African community is bringing. It's a process, yes, I agree. But to go deep into the question, first of all, the mindset change. We work with youth in civil society and private sector, and youth in governance, and we have put up very many youth organizations which are trying to make sure that they make agriculture cool, attractive, to ensure that young people can come into it. It is a process that we are doing. I will mention some organizations like Young Farmers Champions Network that has been working with food agriculture organization to look for champions, young people. Personally, I'm a farmer. Yeah, I'm a farmer. I have my cows, I have my banana plantations, I do avocado farming. But it doesn't, originally we knew that if you go to school, you're supposed to get a white-collar job and you don't need to go and put on gumboots and continue.
We are going to give your coordinator some
minutes. So now I want that one is mindset change. We're already doing it, and I can tell you statistics are there showing, we say the youth are the 72% of the EAC. We are, I think, the first regional economic bloc that is growing very fast in terms of young people. And on the issues of land, we are looking for legal frameworks to ensure that we harmonize legal frameworks. The process is going on in Yara to ensure that young people access land. There is what we call the African Free Corridor, the African continental free trade area that is putting women and youth at the forefront of business and agriculture. Those frameworks are being put in place to ensure that, first of all, the bottlenecks are worked on and we iron out those issues. Then finally, the issue of goods not moving,
and the labor.
We really know that East African community is a bigger block. People, it's a work in progress. Even us here, when we are three, we can get some misunderstanding, but we have a common vision that we must achieve. And we have seen that when we get these challenges, there is a way we are ironing them out, and at least now the borders are all open. I must say that the borders are open in Rwanda, in Kenya. Yes, we have a challenge of peace and security, but it's going to be ironed out. As people who believe in a bigger market, I must tell our viewers that we must promote integration, because that's where our life is, and that's how we are going to survive. Thank you so much.
It's not yet over. We are going for a commercial break, and you will go into the in-depth of what you have. I mean, as you tried to rush a bit to explain, I know I was taking at a terrific speed.
Yes.
But I want to give you more time in the second hour. And that's when we also have the regional coordinator to tell us what is exactly happening, because he's supposed to be speaking for what is coordinating in Uganda.
Yes.
And some of the questions for Uganda, by the way, I'm going to shift them to him.
Yes.
He should be
the one.
He should be able to, for you as you answer for East Africa.
For East Africa.
And in the end of it, I will be able to ask you in the institutional governance why the youth are lacking the vibe to claim for their political space in the East Africa Legislative Assembly by member states not taking you serious as an interest group that should be represented.
True.
At least one representative.
Yes.
I was in a part of that race. I will have the reason why I will ask you.
Yes.
Please, dear viewers, stay tuned as we will come back for another session of a discussion.
SMART24, driving business.